Hi there, and happy Boxing Day, everybody. This is Matt at State of Flux here with a review of Rocky, the very first Rocky movie. Watching movies on boxing movies on Boxing Day, I've always enjoyed because of the pun. I thought it'd be fun to do over the next several years, or however long I have this YouTube channel up, a boxing movie every Boxing Day. So we're going to start with Rocky, which is my favorite boxing movie, or the lead into my favorite boxing movie. I'll cover that later. But Rocky is a absolute gem of a movie. It's a character study about this down on his luck boxer named Rocky Balboa, who is given a 1 in a million opportunity to take on Apollo Creed, the world's greatest boxer. And the connection this film has to On the Waterfront is not lost on me. It's lots of similarities. Stallone, who wrote the screenplay and stars as Rocky, clearly took pretty strong and firm inspiration from On the Waterfront. But how he shapes his lovable doof, Rocky Balboa, is really what makes this film work. You are rooting for this man who the whole world is rooting against. And the way that he gets you to like and respond to this lovable lughead is just fantastic. And he does so through how he interacts with everybody. Be it Spider Rico in the beginning, who he has his first boxing match with, and talks to him very kindly afterwards, or his the girl on the street who has a role in a later film, Rocky Balboa, that he talks to her and he's like, "Hey, I'm gonna say a bad word here. The word is what," and then he does his whole thing. Like how he's always trying to give advice and be helpful and positive into the world. Which is just fascinating and compelling because, as established throughout the beginning of the film, he's a leg breaker. He's a thug because he can't make it as a boxer, and this is how he's getting his money. But he doesn't want to do that, and so he lets a guy off whose thumb he's supposed to break. And how he explains it to his boss about why he didn't break the guy's thumbs. He's like, "Well, I thought if his thumbs don't work, he's not going to be having a job, and then he can't pay." And like his whole thing, and the way Stallone speaks and embodies this character is so good that I think people think that Stallone in real life is just a like lovable idiot as well, and he's really not. He's like a genuinely intelligent man, like so much so that he wrote this fantastic script. This script is so strong. The fact that it did not win Best Original Screenplay that year at the Academy Awards is shocking. However, it did walk away with the Best Picture, as well it should. I do contend that this is the best movie of 1976, and I know it was up against a much-loved Scorsese film that never really responded well with me, so I take flack from that occasionally in like my film circles. But Rocky is just pure inspiration. It is so wicked, like finger on the pulse of the time period of what needed to happen, what people needed to feel in a time in the 70s where movies were just hyper realistic and hyper mean spirited and stuff because they were living in a world that was mean spirited. The realities in Vietnam had spiraled into every facet of entertainment, so, until you got things like Last House on the Left and Taxi Driver and stuff to allow the audience to grip with the terrible truths of America action within that conflict. And this movie comes at a time where I think everybody was feeling a little down on their luck, and this was that little bit of inspiration that they needed. Rocky himself being an inspiring person trying to shape for the better the lives of those around him, be it Adrian, be it Paulie, by keeping him from becoming a leg breaker as well. That's all Paulie wants to do throughout the entire movie, and Rocky just refuses to allow something like that to happen. That's his one way of trying to save Paulie, who is like just a scummy, horrible human being, but Rocky wants to save that fate from anybody else. And that's great. How he interacts with Apollo in the film is quite strong. And then there's Mick. Mick has always been my favorite character in the Rocky franchise. I think he's exceptionally played by Burgess Meredith, who is so wicked smart, so funny, and just the perfect, believable ex-boxer to become the manager. He's got a lot of my favorite lines. I'm gonna make you eat lightning and crap thunder always sticks with me. This film is filled with great one-liners and stuff, and all of them are just excellently delivered. Stallone's best delivered comedic line is, "If you end this fight, I'll kill you." Like right when it goes into the 15th round and he's like eyes just been cut open and stuff to relieve the pressure of the blood and swelling building up there. But the film also embodying those 70s vibes, it doesn't stray from the truth of the thing. Even though this film is an inspiration, and it is powerful and it is strong, it also feels harmoniously real. Everything about the visual language of the film feels real. It's down, it's dark, it's gritty, it's painful, it's like ugly for the most part, though well photographed and stuff. Right down to the conclusion of the match has a weight of reality. But by the time you get to the end of the match, just like the film, you don't care about who wins or who loses that fight. What you care about is this character and his wants and desires, and he's accomplished one of those wants. You saw him do so in the ring, and the last want that he wants is just to be with his beloved Adrian, and pulls her in. And that final minute of the movie is always, every single time I see it, especially with the score and whatnot, always just gets me to roll a tear. It's so strong. I will talk about the couple things that have not aged so well from a nearly 50-year-old movie, so you'd expect that by this point in time. But how Stallone's character Rocky woos Adrian is a little predatory, especially when he gets her into the apartment and stuff like that. And also the way her character is sort of relegated to the kitchen often throughout the film, or for him to like release his tension. And he's like, no, I can't do that. Now we'll let him train it, and all that stuff. Feels like it's from a different era, because it is. This movie is, as I say, almost 50 years old. That said, it is accepting those kind of scenes by and large, this film is so well done, it's well made, it's compelling, it's one that I could put on and just watch front to back, feel so elated from watching it and want to watch it again front to back. And luckily the sequels by and large follow the exact same formula of this movie, so even if you do watch the new content, it's like watching the original content all over again. And I say that knowing full well that my favorite Rocky movie is not the first one. It's one that'll come several years down the line. Though it's not the one that most people cite as their favorite, and I can't stand or abide by them. But I plan to review all the Rocky movies on my channel at some point in time. What did you think of Rocky? Does this movie have a firm hold on you? I just rewatched this movie and I felt the same way I did about it the very first time. It is pure elation. It is like down on your luck kind of joy. Being able to just sort of exist in a world where you can view things through an optimist's lens, even though the whole world around you tells you shouldn't. And that's always been inspiring to me. I love this character, and I would watch 50 movies with Rocky Balboa if I could, just because his character is so it creates such an instant connection with the audience, and all the characters are good. I mentioned all of them. I dig everybody, but Rocky is the key. He is what makes this film work. So there you have. Rocky is one of my all-time favorite movies, and happy Boxing Day. Let me know what you think of this film in the comments down below. Peace.